Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Camilla. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I love your hair, by the way. I am doing good. I'm really good. I've, uh, I'm doing good. So I missed you on Wednesday. My apologies, and everybody that's watching. That was a little bit of my part. Just had to take care of a few things that were a little bit pressing. But it's all good.
Very good. I'm glad.
Yeah, keep, day at a time. We're all in this together, and we get honest, and we take amazing guidance, advice from different, and we just put it in the right spots. So all good.
Okay.
Yes. So it's Friday today, Camilla.
It's Friday. I know. And the weekend is upon us, and the weather is lovely. Summer is here, and I'm happy.
Oh my gosh, that makes me happy. I I did a ice cream night last night with my kids, and I'll be honest, I need to learn how to have a little bit more of that. So it was really nice. That it was a makeup from Wednesday. I didn't quite get there on the Wednesday, so I'm like, no, we're doing it tomorrow. Last night, so we did.
Great. And I know that you can teach a thing or two to some of these type A personalities, right?
Yeah, we get a little bit caught up into the, and it happens, but it's you know what, Camilla, we keep connecting, we keep, and again, staying plugged in, if you will. And some days, like, life happens, right? But at the end of the day, when you really kind of walk away from it and you look at it all, you'll say, well, wait, look at all the great. And then you start looking at all the great things and all the beautiful things and all the abundance. And then when we do that, we kind of shift over there, and then we're, oh, this actually feels, wait a second, I do need to take time for, so our type A personality, we get into structure. So, we structure it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have our time, we have our downtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Awesome. So are we ready to dive into Friday's conversation?
I'm ready. So I'm all ears. Yes.
Well, I've experienced a little bit of this week of being forgetful. So I decided to do some research on how to boost your memory. And we've had this conversation in the past on how anxiety affects your memory. So I anticipate that I was a little anxious this week. But in my research, I started to look at what happens when we're stressed out. Obviously we forget things, we don't concentrate and focus well, and we get frustrated. So the research I found in particular to diet, and was comes out of the research that was done by the experts at the Center for Aging and Brain Health Innovation here in Toronto. So it's the CABHI.
CABHI.
Yeah, and I found that this particular diet plan was very interesting to me. A lot of it is information most people know, but the research was pretty incredible. So this research is based on on studies that they did on the population of 50 plus. Okay, usually after the age of 50, we experience decline in our cognitive abilities, our memory, etc. So the study was based on people over 50, and they focused on diet. And here is what they found. This is incredible. I mean, I'm pretty excited because I hit 50 and I'm excited about this. So I'm going to talk about the diet in a sec, but here's the results. They found if you make these simple dietary changes, this is what they found, that there was an improvement in reading and writing speed that was comparable to as if they were 9 years younger.
9?
And that was only after 4 months of being on this particular diet.
Interesting.
Is that incredible or what?
Interesting. You know, and
Yeah.
I want to echo if it's okay, because we've got a few people that are with us today. So I just want to welcome everybody that's chimed in from our Facebook community. So thank you for being here. Camilla LaFranco, psychotherapist, expert in the arena of crisis management, pandemics, like many things. Okay, so you can find Camilla, talk with Camilla. You can find Camilla LaFranco. Well, we're talking a little bit today about what you just uncovered from the CABHI. So the Canadian, I'm going to get you just to recite it again. Canadian.
It's the Center for Aging and Brain Health Innovation.
That would be me get the word mixed up. So I put the acronym down, and so the Center for
Aging and Brain Health Innovation.
And brain health innovation. And folks, what I just heard you say is recap on, they've just finished doing a study of just the impact of the aging brain, and they looked at those that are over the age of 50, and they had them apply a specific type of diet. And after they've done this, measuring it for 4 months, it literally, what I'm really hearing is it almost kind of took 10 years off of them in terms of how better they thought cognitively, reading, writing, what they could do. 10 years is a long time. And when you're at 50, folks, and I know there's a few of us that are, we got to get real. A lot of us are over 50. And I want to be here till I'm 100. So, and I want to be very vibrant. I don't want to be walking around with aches and pains. And so I'm getting very real with what.
Now we're going to have the young people watching this going, speak for yourselves.
Okay, so continue.
Yeah, so obviously an incredible improvement in performance on tests of reading and writing. And the second incredible result was 0 cognitive decline after 4 years of eating well. So you want to make a real impact on not having memory loss as you age. Then I'm going to now share with you the diet that they put these people on.
Oh,
so to me, that's exciting because, we hear a lot of information about, dementia as people get older. Alzheimer's tends to be on the rise. And so these are scary things. Yeah, I don't want to get dementia.
No, and I'll be honest, I'm going to be very honest with everybody here. My dad, a couple of years, that's what he had. And it was, and just learning through it, there are 9, they say, the 9 different phases. You don't go back. Once you're there, you're there. So that really resonated with me. So my dad was diagnosed, we lost him 2 years ago. He lived a great life. Like, he was a wonderful man. He's with me in spirit, and I feel him. Like, we're energy folks. So I personally don't have but again, that's not what it was hearing he was diagnosed maybe about 7 years ago, and it was really early onset, and it was just these little things, but then knowing that it's these 9 stages you can go through. And it wasn't until the latter years that we understood you don't get it back. So it's so important, I think, for us to just understand the impact of this. And now we're learning the impact of how we can, what can we eat to put us up.
Yeah, because if we can impact something just as simple as changing your diet, I mean, that's really great news, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. So the first one is eating leafy greens every day. Every day, leafy greens. Now I know
every day.
Yeah. So I know the Canada Food Guide recommends, lots of vegetables. So what they're saying is that you want to aim for 5 or more servings of vegetables every day, with a big focus on leafy greens, such as spinach, mixed greens, kale. There are cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, bok choy. So the focus is on leafy greens every single day.
Okay. All right.
The second one is eating a variety of healthy foods. So variety here is what's key. I know many people, they follow fads, and they read things like antioxidants. I
Yeah.
remember a friend of mine just was in love with blueberries, and it was blueberries every day and everything. So what they're saying is don't focus on just one superfood. Choose many different kinds of fruits and vegetables. And it's more important to focus on colors. My mom used to say this a lot growing up. Focus on colors. Make sure you have something green and orange and red.
Okay.
Um, you know, this is how you're going to brain boosting antioxidants versus just focusing on one kind.
I like what you just shared there, Camilla. Brain boosting antioxidants. And way back in the day, and for those that are watching that may or may not be aware, and I am a guy first to profess, I'm not accredited. It's just stuff I picked up. I worked many years ago, kind of
Mm-hmm.
got into fitness, and I was just interested. So I'd go to seminars but I'm not, but I remember learning a little bit about antioxidant, and it's kind of we breathe free radicals, so things are always hitting our cells and hitting our cells. We just want to protect ourselves with a nice little layer of what they call an antioxidant, and that layer comes by what we eat. So there are foods that we can eat that protect our cells a little better, antioxidants, but all sorts of what I'm really hearing, not just one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. The other one is fruits. We want to aim to have fruit 4 times a day. I mean, I started to now inspect, and I'm doing it 1 to 2 times a day. So I do have to increase my fruit intake, that's for sure. And the other thing they're recommending is berries. Having an increase in berries. So 3 to 4 times a week, your fruit choice needs to be berries.
So
And my home,
berries, examples, hun, would be of berries. What kind of examples would you say?
any kind of berry, any kind of berry,
Okay. So
any
raspberries.
berries. In my home, we buy the frozen ones.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries.
And
We buy the frozen berries because they spoil pretty quickly if you don't use them right away. And my kids love doing smoothies. We do smoothies every day.
yeah, we've through this, and through, yep, we weren't consistent in it before, but we are. I will say at least once a week we've been doing that. And when we use pineapple and make our own pineapple juice, and we will boil the
Mhm.
pineapple. We don't boil the top. The top we get rid of, but all the sides, the bottom core and that inner core piece, put it in a big huge pot of water, put maybe a quarter cup of brown sugar, a little bit of ginger, and just boil it. And we use that as the base for the
Wow,
juice. We put all the other fruits in it. So just a thought. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try that. That sounds amazing.
All right. I'm gonna have to
And
get
if
some.
we have young people listening here, there was a study done last year, 2019, published in Nutrients, and what they showed was if they had a mixed berry smoothie, it improved their cognitive function, and they weren't as fatigued. And this was for people in their 20s. So fruit is important.
It resonates, and for everybody that's watching, folks, just to kind of recap what Camilla had said, for younger people, we're not all over 50. We have a wonderful, beautiful young generation, and we are learning from our younger generation. They have a mixed berry smoothie. It has also had impact. So they again feel less fatigue, they're more ability to apply themselves. I know of somebody, I won't reference, they are younger, and it's interesting because they've specifically asked me, Mom, pick up this berries today for groceries, and I never really understood what she was doing. She's specific on, and so it goes hand in hand. So folks, especially the younger generation that's watching us, get your berry smoothies daily.
Yeah, every time that I've ever gone to a conference, what do we do at break or when we're feeling tired? Is we go out, we grab a coffee or a tea,
Yeah.
and I'm notorious for that. But the last couple of years, I've started to, if there is an option to choose a smoothie or a fruit drink or something like that, I will choose that first because I find that my energy lasts longer than if I had the coffee. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think the coffee does this and that, whereas the fruit does this.
Yeah, it stabilizes a
Yeah,
little bit more. So yeah, it makes you feel good.
makes
The fourth diet change is to have nuts. So obviously, if you are allergic to nuts, this is not for you. But eating nuts every single day and a focus on walnuts. So when we talk about nuts, you don't need to have half a jar. We're talking about like literally a handful. So almonds would be like 5 or 6, right? And the focus being on walnuts 4 times a week. And there's a reason for this. Oh, by the way, they need to be natural, unsalted. I know a lot of people like to have, add things to their nuts, but no, we want to have them unsalted.
in the most natural
And the
state.
reason is because nuts reduce, yeah, they're actually anti-inflammatory.
Oh, I
So
didn't
if
know
you
that.
have any inflammation in your brain, nuts is going to be, yeah, well, when we talk about anxiety and we talk about the amygdala sort of expanding, that would be an inflammation of your brain cells,
Oh, okay.
right? So if we want to reduce the inflammation through diet, nuts is one way to do that. Specifically, yeah.
Yeah.
The fifth one is eating legumes twice a week.
Legumes?
So legumes, yeah, like beans, chickpeas, lentils. They're also anti-inflammatory in nature and obviously high in fiber, so they're good for you.
Yeah.
But it's the anti-inflammatory, I think, the
The points that
anti-inflammatory
are
effect that it has on your brain that improves your performance, right? And so they found this they did the study on elderly people in a 2017 article of the journal is of translational medicine, and they gave seniors a little mini exam, and they found that it significantly improved their performance if they had a diet that was high in legumes.
that's that's incredibly resonating. I knew from years ago, um, again, just from reading it through other studies that were done and people that actually built up programs on this, accredited the benefits of when you eat sugar. So sugar, um, fruits have natural sugar. So there's the fructose in them versus the glucose. But there was a recommendation if you're eating that sugar to also go along and have the nuts with it, because what it had, and for those that are out there, good to kind of maybe look into this. This is just what I observed. So you could have a bit of walnuts, for example, with your berries, or your walnuts with your smoothie. And what does that do? Or put the walnuts in the smoothie. What does that do? When so for example, diabetes, what we and we understand, how it's evolved and where we're at, etc. But whether you have it or you don't, we all have what we call insulin. And we know that
Mm.
diabetics, insulin's a bit of a different, and diabetes was on both sides of the family. So what they uncovered years ago was really big in the late 90s into the millennial. They called it the zone. They wanted people to kind of stay in the zone. So you have your natural sugar, your fruit, but marry it with a little bit of nut. And what they claimed was it keeps the insulin working at an optimal level. When you have the sugar does this, but then there's still a bit of this. But with the nut, it kept it balanced for some reason. So, Camilla, I'd
Wow.
love it. Maybe we could do a bit of research and let's see. Um,
Well, I think we should probably look at getting either a nutritionist or somebody who specializes in this kind of stuff that
yeah,
has actually done the work, and
yeah.
bring them on as a guest. And
I love
so if anybody's listening and you know anybody in that field, just let us know, because that would be
awesome.
yeah,
So
that would be great.
I think
Yeah.
that's fantastic. So everybody that's watching, folks, we have Talk with Camilla. Talk with Camilla is an incredible program. 3 times a week, folks, 30 minutes a day. We get it, and we get it from an incredible, amazing woman, professional. She is a psychotherapist, expert in her domain. She's walked the walk and talked the talk. It's one thing for us to go out and share knowledge, which is great and wonderful, but have we been there and done that? Or are we coming at it from just a different lens? It's even more wonderful when we're coming at it from truth-based. You've been there, you've done it, you have the accreditation. And mind, body, soul. What we put in our mouth, folks, I think has more of an impact on us than we really realize. We can sit here and tell ourselves this, but let's look at what really is happening.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
love this
there's three
concept.
more quickly that I want to just share before we close off. This one's really important, especially for anybody that is suffering from ADD or you have children with ADD.
Ah,
And so there's a lot of research on this, and this is omega-3s. Omega-3s have been shown to impact your cognition and memory and focus, obviously. And so if you're not eating fish or seafood 3 times a week, or maybe you might be allergic to fish, you may want to take omega-3 supplements because the omega-3s really benefit in terms of focus and attention. So if you have children on ADD that have ADD, you want on I mean, I'm a physician again, I'm not going to, tell anybody what to do here, but I know that, my kids, we take exaggerated amounts of omega-3s during the school year.
yeah. That's and Camilla having our one daughter who she does not have ADD, but she had a mild, cause what they call CAP, which is in the same family. Because we and we uncovered all of this when she was very young. We started to recognize it just in her learning style. So we had her assessed, tested, and we got into tutoring. But we looked at a tutoring program that understood all of this. So there was a little program at Oxford, if you will. The pedagogy behind a lot of their curricula was uncovering and grouping the ADD, OCD, CAP, basic, and looking at it from it's not always about medicating. It's about how we're working with them. And now what I'm now hearing is also what they eat, having
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
impact. Yep.
Yeah. This next one is really interesting. I did not know this one. This was news to me. So obviously I did know that we need to limit our meat protein intake.
Yeah.
But this one blew my mind. It's don't eat meat or poultry more than once a day. So some people are having, let's say, bacon for breakfast, maybe a hamburger at lunch, and then, some other, I don't know, meat protein at dinner. And so, no, not more than once a day. If you're having, meat protein for breakfast, you're not going to have it at lunch and dinner. If
So
you're having it for lunch, you're not having it for dinner.
Why once a day?
There's something about the way your body digests meat protein that affects your brain. My suspicion, I have no evidence about this, but I'm going to look into this because I'm really interested. I think that meat protein contributes to the inflammation of the brain, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know why.
You know what?
I found it really interesting.
I absolutely love this because we are what do they say? We are what we eat. Oh, I guess we are. So now we're really, so the idea of inviting a nutritionist, and I am putting the poll out there to be able to come and join us, even if it's just once a week, to be able to continue kind of the path, because it is a lot of that. It is, it's about how we can kind of inform. And for everybody that's watching, if you guys walk away with one little tip today and apply it, I am super excited and super proud, because it's not about, do we apply everything? It's do we take that one little thing and apply it? Because, just because.
Yep. Yeah. And then the last bit on this special diet is water. You need to stay hydrated and drink plenty of water.
And
now, we don't want to overdo it because some people drink more. Actually, you know what? I looked it up. My doctor had told me there's a formula on how much water to drink based on your height and your weight. And I should have brought it to the call, but I did not. Anyways, I will look that up. So you don't want to over drink water, but you want to stay hydrated, because staying hydrated is very good for your brain cells. And by the way, that does not include processed beverages or, sugary stuff.
Yeah. So you kind of, the spring water from the tap,
water.
And the better, whatever, but not the water and the sugar. Yeah. And not and I will say, and again, I am no doctor, but I read the sugarless, if you will, products. We got to be a little careful of the aspartame that's in them, because aspartame and
Right.
dementia are not exactly aspartame and dementia from just what I've read, Camilla, like that. So we've tried and stay away from that aspartame stuff, the sugarless stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plain water is good. I
Yep.
just put a little bit of lemon in my water because sometimes I want to flavor it, and I love it when you go to hotels and they put fruit or vegetables
Yeah.
in the water. Like I like that. Some people don't, but you could do that at
Yeah.
home.
Well, and think for everybody that's watching, all the berries you're stocking, we're in the summer right now. You know what? Just take a little bit, put them in the fridge, and they just literally got thrown in. Big, nice. My gosh, we can go to the dollar store, I'm sure, just find a pitcher and a whole bunch of ice in there, put a little bit of pineapple, a bit of berry, a bit of blueberry, put it in, stir it up, put it in the fridge, away you go.
Yep. Sounds like a plan.
Love it. So, well, everybody that's watching, we have Camilla DeFranco with us, folks, 3 times a week. Talk with Camilla. And I want to encourage everybody here that's watching. You guys, again, I'm a very honest, transparent person. We go through life and we see it. I see it with other people. I see it with me. We all may want to, we're strong, we're this, we're that. We're all human and we all want to feel good, balanced. And if you ever just want to learn about Camilla or just reach out to her, or if you ever even have anybody where, you know what, I'm really concerned about this person, I want you to just do a reach out to talk with Camilla. I've learned a ton, Camilla, and I value our relation. I just really happy to have a platform that I can share with people that watch. We may have, whether they're my clients from real estate, because we don't have to talk about real estate every single day, day in, day out, to give back. So I give back this way and I learn, and I just love you to pieces. And I'm just so happy that we continue to share and help others.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
I'm glad that we can reach as many people as we can.
that's it. All about inspiring. So have an awesome balance of your day and a beautiful weekend.
You as well.
Okay. And everybody that's watching, have an awesome weekend, folks. Keep following and talk with Camilla. We'll see you guys on Monday. Bye, hon.
Bye-bye.